And on the seventh day, God rested, but not Coach Prime. I woke up this morning, I go, you think Coach Prime? Yes, Coach Prime's going to give us something on the holiday. That's what he does. He did it on Christmas Eve, I think he did on New Year's Eve. Holidays, don't matter what day it is. Coach Prime needs to recruit. He's going to land it. We're going to talk about it. Mr. Love from Auburn. Well, that intro, baby. Come on. Yes, sir. Safety, Terrence Love from Auburn, 6'2", 200 pounds, played in 22 games for the Auburn Tigers over the past 2 years. We're going to take a look at his PFF rating here in just a minute. Not as much of a splash as Deion Parks was. Deion Parks had a phenomenal PFF grade. Terrence Love does not have much playing time to build off of, but still, four-star guy coming out of high school. You still need some depth. You still got to add on to these guys. Must have liked what he saw. Again, not much coming from Auburn for us to really build off of, but let's take a look at his PFF score. You can see the scores are not nearly as appealing as Mr. Deion Parks was. However, still 6'2", 220. Big safety there. You can see his defensive grade with a 59.3 and not much production and not too many snaps at Auburn. So now I will say this. According to On3, he was their top safety, their number one safety in the portal as of now. So I would believe that the top safety that entered into the portal this cycle. So they like what they see. I think they're building a lot of what they saw in high school again because he was a four-star guy coming out of high school. Hasn't seen the field much at Auburn. The Auburn, I have to think about this too, in the last 2 years, has had a lot of turnover on the secondary side and on the coaching on the defensive side. Ron Roberts was there when he was probably recruited. So things have changed, and the type of defense that he was originally recruited to has had some changes as well. So keep all those things into consideration. Again, the reason I'm telling you all is there just isn't much for us to build off of, but we saw some guys leave. It's still very important for the Colorado Buffs to continue to build guys in and bring guys in. So love the pickup. To me, it's you're still getting a guy that has 2 years under his belt that has the ability to play a four-star recruit level, but has 2 years of college experience. So he should be a guy that can hit the ground running and have an impact right away without all the drama, without all the nonsense that maybe your typical freshman would have. So 2 years of eligibility left. We'll see how that plays in for the Buffs and Coach Prime and, of course, Terrence Love. And then the other big thing that happened today, which is kind of funny because we talked about this when Coach Prime called out Virginia, when Isaiah, essentially there was rumors and talks that Virginia poached or tampered and offered him a certain amount of moolah to come on over to Virginia. So I was excited to see how this thing was going to unfold and transpire, and if he ended up would be at Virginia. Sure enough, here he is. So look, this is where when you see guys go into the portal, there's always the question mark of what was it? Were they forced out? Did it not work out? Did someone call in and say, hey, here's what we got rocking and roll with you? This obviously kind of came to fruition that it was hey, we want you, come after it. But I think with what we saw with the running back room with Deion Hayden, I don't think they're going to skip too much of a beat. I even said this when Isaiah left. Love what he did last year. Running backs are a dime a dozen. Very easy to replace. And honestly, the guys that were there were very capable. I think Isaiah fit into that offense last year just because he was more of that scat back type. I think Deion Hayden's going to have some major success in the type of offense they're looking to run headed into the season. I did see some comments about the offense. Somebody said the same old offense as last year. That was kind of weird to me because I was like, that offense was flying on all cylinders. I mean, it was high octane offense last year. So if it's compared to that, I don't remember us then having too many dink downs to the tight ends and screenplays that often. Now, screenplays are always a factor, but keep in mind, guys, that spring game wasn't meant to show off. It was meant to sell tickets, right? Sell the hype, get people excited, but they're not going to go out there. They got 4 plays they're working with between everybody. So let's not get too carried away. Caden Salter, I believe, has the ability to sling it. Julian Lewis does as well. I think this thing will open up here for sure headed into next year, and we'll see what pieces get added for the next portal. Look, they're for sure not done. That I can confirm. They're just getting started. I told you you're going to be seeing me a lot over the next couple of days. I don't expect Coach Prime to slow down by any stretch of the imagination. If there is any kind of pattern or history that we can look back on, typically after a holiday, the next day, like 2 or 3 pop. We'll circle back to this if I'm right or wrong on that, but if you've been following for quite some time, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Usually these things kind of come in 2s and 3s. There could be more today. If there is, you know where we'll be. Smash the like button, subscribe. Let me know down in the comments. Always want to hear from you guys. How are you feeling? What are your thoughts on this pickup? Who are you looking for? I saw David Stone, the defensive lineman from Oklahoma. That name was tossed around a little bit because he was part of their, I think, his final 5 or top 8 when he ultimately committed to Oklahoma. keep this in mind too when you can't transfer within the same conference, so he's not going to another SEC school. So it's got to be Big 10 or Pac-12 or Big 12, excuse me, not the ACC. I don't think. I think the schools in the ACC that are kind of paying right now and working heavily, I think they're kind of full. So keep a lookout for the Big 10 and the Big 12 for Mr. Stone. I think he's a big asset and a big factor and a phenomenal freshman. So we'll keep an eye on it. Y'all be sure to smash the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace and love.